Welcome to our second episode of the Tradeware Cloud Coffee Talk. This is Matthias, my name is Roger, and the topic of today is cloud compute instances. Hey Matthias, last time we saw how quick and easy it is to create complete network environments. What about Linux compute VMs? And what is the difference to on-prem environments like VMware?
Well, answer to the first question is easy. It's cloud, it will be quick and easy. Second question, the big difference is that if you go to the cloud, you don't have to care for maintenance and management of an infrastructure. That will be done by the cloud. But hey, enough talk, let's do it. Okay, then let's deploy a compute instance. Now, some may remember from the first episode where we created the network, and of course we need a network to deploy that compute instance to. So we still have our Coffee Talk virtual cloud network with all the subnets, and that's exactly what we are going to use now. Looking at the compute selections, we have here instances in Coffee Talk compartment. There is none. It looks very similar to network creation, so we just say create instance. Give it a name. So Coffee Talk compute sounds like appropriate. Placement, Zurich has one availability domain, not much to choose there. But important, of course, image and shape. So what operating system image we want to use and how should the shape like. So what resources will be given to that virtual machine. Now for the operating system image, it defaults to Oracle Linux 8, which makes a lot of sense. That's the current most used Linux image here. But just to show, of course, we could change that to something else, even including Windows. Now, more to do here. If we look here, it's an AMD x86 processor. Pre-selected is one CPU core, 16 gigabytes of memory, and it delivers 1 gigabit of network bandwidth. Network bandwidth is tied to the number of cores. So the more cores you add, the more network bandwidth you get. And if you need something different, unlike with other clouds where you have to scroll through pages of different shared memory configurations to find something that matches, here you just define what you want to have.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, feel free.
Okay, then let's choose 7 OCPUs.
Okay, so 7 compute cores.
And 53 gigabytes of memory.
Very interesting number, yes. So we have it and we select the shape. And now you see in the status here, it says 7 cores, 53 gigabytes of memory. And accordingly, we have a much higher network bandwidth available for that virtual machine. Now next is tying it to the networks. So we say select existing virtual cloud network because we have one. And because it's the only one in our compartment, in our Coffee Talk compartment, it's pre-selected. It pre-selects a subnet, but you may remember we have a number of different subnets in that virtual cloud network. I will select the public subnet to give me the opportunity to really access from my notebook across the internet the instance we are just going to create. And we tell it, assign a private IP address. That's the one which belongs to or is within the subnet we selected. And assign a public. So make that VM visible on the internet so we can connect to. Now, also important is SSH keys, because the initial deployment works such that the only way to access it is using an SSH key pair that is defined during the deployment. You could create a new key pair, but if you have one, I can also say I want to upload an existing public key, so I just select one of the list which I have. And of course, I need to have a corresponding private key, otherwise it won't work. Boot volume, I could change the boot volume size, which is 50 gigabytes, which seems okay for me. I can switch on, and that's a security feature that the data, when it's transferred between storage and the compute VM, is encrypted. So it's
Sounds good.
in transition, not only at rest when the data is on the storage, but also when it's transferred. And live migration, that means that all the maintenance stuff Oracle is doing, which may affect the hardware you are sitting on, can be made invisible by live migration. So you won't see anything, feel anything. Your VM will just be migrated to another physical server. Show advanced options. That's just to mention, you could specify own scripts that are executed together when you deploy. And there is a cloud agent that offers various functions which you can select here, but you also can adapt them later on, so no problem. So given that, we are actually ready to deploy. So it was quite easy, not too much to do. And I hit that create button. And you see the typical screen in the Oracle Cloud. It's in the provisioning mode. It already shows some properties of what we have selected.
Okay. And now we have a plain Linux machine.
That's correct. Yeah.
Once it's finally provisioned.
Yeah.
And from other clouds, I know there are predefined instances, not just with scripts you can run, as you mentioned, but already installed software. What about OCI?
Well, also OCI offers that. You see here, Marketplace. And I say all application, just to get the full list of it. And what you get from the Marketplace are a lot of predefined virtual machines. Some with Oracle software, but also with third-party software. So it's a big, huge list. For example, very popular Oracle Enterprise Manager, which is a pain to configure and install. Here you can get a Marketplace image which delivers you a ready-to-use enterprise management configuration. Okay, let's switch back to our compute instance. You see it's green now, it's running. And now we can check some of the information. So we see it's in the right compartment. It is deployed in Zurich. We see the Oracle image. We see the virtual cloud network. Shape configuration, the interesting thing. Okay, we have 7 compute cores and 53 gigabytes of memory. And also important, you see here instance access, that it now has assigned a public address. So let's copy this address, go to PuTTY, load a predefined profile that I use, and just change the IP address. Say open, accept, and we are in. Now we are connected to our instance in the cloud directly from my notebook.
From the notebook here, using the public IP address that was configured for the Linux instance.
So, I
mean, cool.
Just normal Linux machine, whatever you would expect. So, all as configured. Wasn't that quick and easy?
That was quick and easy. But now, if I want to change something, let's say we are go to a more convenient configuration, like I want to change to 8 CPUs and 64 gigabyte of RAM. Now I have to recreate the stuff?
No, actually you don't. So if you go here, move actions, edit, shape summary, edit shape, and now you're back to your interface where you can change things. So I could go here up and 8 and let's say 64 gigabytes of memory. And as soon as I say save changes, it will reboot. And come back, and you don't have to set up anything new. So everything you have done, setting them up, installing software, configuring you, whatever, that's all maintained, of course. It's just changing the shape if you do that. And that's all that happens.
That's cool.
So I guess we have seen how quick and easy it is.
Yes, we do. Hey, that was quick and easy. Thank you for the demo. This was episode 2. Can you give me a hint what we will cover in episode 3?
Yes, of course I can. Now we have a cloud network. We have a compute resource deployed in that cloud network. That resource easily could be an application server. So in the next episode, we will look at how quick and easy it is to create an Oracle database cloud service.
Cool, looking forward to it. Thanks for watching and see you soon.